Hello and welcome to another episode of Visual Novelty. I think this might be the final episode of The Mermaid's Curse. We'll see about that. We have one final thing left to do, and that is to try to bring Yuza and Sato together for 800 years, or close to be in love. So what happened last week is we had some I think they're called recollections triggered last week, and we were able to go back and find these conversations that were happening between Yuza and Sato. And it turns out that basically before anything that we had seen before in the story had happened, Yuza was out looking at the ocean. Well, I guess maybe it was Sato first, but anyway, they were on top of those Kantikisho, I think is what they're called, ruins, and Sato was just like looking out, just thinking about her life, thinking about how she's immortal and how she's going to die soon, but she's glad that she's able to like enjoy TV and figure out like what the future was like, and she kind of wishes she could enjoy it more, but she doesn't have very much time left, and it's complicated, but she's just content with the fact that she wasn't still at the bottom of the ocean dying over and over again. And Yuza popped up, and he was there to just kind of think about things as well, and they end up sort of connecting over the fact that they kind of figure out that each other are 800-year immortals, but Yuza has only been immortal for 5 years, and so we find out, like confirmed, Yuza knows that he's immortal, and that he became immortal because of his interaction with the mermaid that happened during the tragedy 5 years ago when his parents died. I don't think he doesn't understand why the mermaid did it, though. Just that it made him immortal. And I think he ends up exposing, if I remember right, that he tried to kill himself and it didn't work. And that's like how he knows he's immortal, because he tried to like wash away out to sea or whatever and didn't actually die. And so it's pretty sad. But then he realizes Sato's an immortal, and they kind of connect over it. And at first they're kind of at arm's length of each other. They don't seem to be super into each other, but they keep meeting there at the ruins over and over again every day, and then they kind of promise each other that they're going to wait for each other there every day, and it turns into like a little love story. But I think at some point when Yuza figures out that Sato's only got a month left, he starts to try to put this plan together. He's like, there's gotta be some way we can make this work or whatever, once they like, I guess, express their love for each other, I think. And they try to start coming up with a plan to figure out how they can be together. And I think for them, it didn't matter if it was be together for 800 years or die together or whatever. Like, both of them seem to kind of be willing to go either way. But they came up with a plan, and they don't say this explicitly, but through the storyteller, we do get confirmed that their plan is to try to find some mermaid flesh for Sato to eat in order for her to get cursed again for another 800 years. That way they can be together for the 795 that Yuza has left, and I guess Sato will just have 5 alone and sad that Yuza's gone. But we're not thinking about that. We're thinking about the 795. So in the story, we now need to figure out a way to get Sato some mermaid flesh, and that's kind of tricky. But another thing that we did last week is we did finally get to the conclusion where we at least saved everyone and nobody dies. Well, I can't say nobody dies. Wakamuta dies. We don't want to throw that out the window. He dies. Yamashina dies. Which is Tsukasa's dad, the rich old guy. He dies. And but Kamishima's fine, and that just gives Tsukasa this grumpy old rich man's money, and that also gives Shotaro Wakamuta's money because that's his dad. And but that leaves them at kind of like a weird spot. But then also Sato ends up dying because she only had like 2 days left at that point. And they just have like this nice send off for Sato where they talk to her and try to give her like one last really good day, and then she like kind of goes out in a boat and I guess turns into sea foam, a la the original Little Mermaid story. It's kind of interesting how that works. So it's kind of the best ending we've gotten so far. But I think the best ending we can get is if we can get Yuza and Sato to be together forever, or for 800 years. It feels like forever. So that's what we're doing today. We're trying to investigate to see what we can do today. And what we did last week was we kind of started a little bit on it. So Sato has this chapter called Claim, and it's where she ends up negotiating with Arnav to get the Tomi Tobacco, the small box that she needs to put mermaid flesh in so that it will become potent with its curse that then she can eat. It's the same box she ate her original one from too, which is pretty crazy to think about. It's lasted 800 years like that. But I guess it's a magical little dude. So last week, I kind of got a little stuck because in the chapter we did get the Tomi Tobacco by telling Arnav our beautiful love story. And since he's a writer above everything else, he enjoyed the story and it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll help you. So he gave her the Tomi Tobacco. So then we took the Tomi Tobacco and we went to Tsuyumi Nakuchi's house, which is Yuza's grandmother, because she has this special, what's it called? A scale. And we believe it to be a mermaid scale. So we put the mermaid scale in the Tomi Tobacco and we left it in there and then nothing happened. But I think, I've been thinking about it and I think it's a meta moment because we loaded the meta load files. So like in the game, there is this save file that's not yours. It's this one down here, this murky file here. And it's a conversation between two people. And I've been really thinking about it. And I think it's between, what's her name? Sobe, I think it's the mermaid Sobe, I think. So it's between Yuza's mother, Mare, who was the, what do I want to say? Like it's the survivor from Taishima, whose duty it was to break the curse, thus kind of opening Ryugu so that the mermaids could go back to Ryugu. And so she got really close with the mermaid Sobe, and Sobe kind of like, I guess they kind of fell in love with each other or something, it kind of feels like, or they're just very close. I'm not sure if it really is love or not, but they seem very close to each other. So Sobe seems to have given her a message or something that has a message within it. And in this load file, it talks about how the person who received the message can't read it anymore. And Sobe's like, oh yeah, that old, or the mermaids is like, that old thing, like, well, it's probably so old you would need to like bring, I can't remember exactly the words they say, but they basically mentioned like you might need to use the Tomi Tobacco to end up seeing the message again. And then it's like, well, and it might even be so faint that you would need to be a spirit in order to read it. And there's no way in the story that we can get somebody else to put this thing in the Tomi Tobacco. So I was thinking about how Yuza was talking about, well, not just Yuza, but Yumiko and Arnav, they all talked about how they had this weird like thing telling them to do stuff. You know, they were like personifying us, the audience, the player, as sort of like a spirit, and that we were influencing them to do things in the story. And so I'm thinking we are the spirit, and we need to somehow see the message ourselves. And it won't be a message that Sato can see, so it has to be a message just for us. And that means it's a meta puzzle. So in the game, we have this log here in the start menu that shows us stuff that people have said. And I'm thinking it could be that something will appear here when we put it in the box. So I think I was probably triggering it and I didn't even know it. So I think I'm going to go back in Claim. We're going to have Sato put the scale in the box, and then I'm going to look here to see if anything comes up, and maybe that will tell us something, because I don't think Sato can eat this scale. So it must give us another clue. I don't know. Maybe she can't eat the scale and it'll tell us how. I don't know. Or it'll tell us where some mermaid flesh is, I guess. I'm not sure. Because somehow we have to get mermaid flesh for her to eat. But I think that's the next part of the story, because I can't figure out for the life of me what else I would do, because we have conclusion, which just lets us kind of affect the end, which I think we're going to come back here once, because there was like I guess here there was a murky little spot where Yuza could have said something to Sato in the sort of falling action, but we weren't allowed to click it because we didn't have the information we needed. So I think that's why that one is not grayed out. But we also, for some reason, have possessions, and I have no idea why this one's not grayed out, other than the fact that there's probably another ending where Arnav finds the mermaid flesh or something. So maybe whatever clue we get, we could also let Arnav have. Because I think there is an ending with Arnav. I think I may have spoiled myself a little bit seeing what endings exist, and I think there's one with Arnav getting what he wants, which is immortality. So we have one more like blah ending, I guess is what I'd call that, because the best ending is obviously Sato and Yuzo being together forever. So I'm gonna try that. I think it all comes down to claim, because that's the only other one that we have available to us that's not grayed out. So that's the only one that has an option where we can do something we haven't done yet. Although we have done it though, so that's so maybe I'm wrong, because I did put it in the box, so I did trigger the thing, but I guess the game doesn't know if you've done the meta thing yet, if I'm right. Okay, whatever, let's just try it. I could just be rambling on about nothing. Let's try it. Okay, start. So we have it where Sato has the Tamatobako, so we're gonna go to the Minakuchi residence. I remember the first time I did this chapter, I was like, why can we go to Tsuyu's house? Like, why are we here? It seems so strange.
Hello, is anyone home? Who am I kidding? I know no one is here.
Okay, so we're just gonna go straight for it.
It's an altar shelf. Buddhist objects and keepsakes are neatly arranged on it. It also has something Suyu showed me once. Here it is. There's something about it, but I can't put my finger on what. What should I do with it?
Put it in the Tamatobako.
Maybe something will happen if I put this in the Tamatobako? Okay, it's in.
Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot.
Nothing happened. Darn.
Okay, so now I think is when I come in here. Oh. Yes, there's some great text. Sobe. Okay, so here's the message. Sweet. Hello, Mare. Can you hear me? I tried to weave my thoughts into the scale to leave you a message. Yes. Hell yeah, dude. I hope it reaches you. Listen, I came up with a secret signal for when you need to call me. Oh, so maybe we can get Sobe to give the flesh? Can we still call? Because I thought Sobe went back to Ryugu. Okay. From now on, if you don't use this signal, I won't respond, so be careful. You need to call me 4 times, leaving at least 3 seconds between each. That's the rule. Don't forget it. It's a promise, just between you and me. You need to call me 4 times. Okay. Okay, I think I know what this is, and I will admit that this is something I spoiled for myself when I was trying to figure out something earlier. I was trying to use AI to help me, like, with the... What was it? It was the... I think it was the hand mirror thing, like, a few weeks ago. And it automatically just blurted out this solution that was going to come up at some point, but it didn't tell me how I was supposed to, or, like, what it was for. So I didn't ever do it, but I think it's this. It lines up with what this is saying, the 4 times thing. So there is a place where we can see a mermaid. It's another meta puzzle, and the mermaid that we see, the only time we ever see a mermaid in the flesh as a mermaid in this game, is on the main menu. So there's a mermaid sitting there, and I hardly ever show it on stream because I usually already have the game into my save file. So when it says you need to call me 4 times, leaving at least 3 seconds between each, I think that means I have to click on her. I have to click on her 4 times. That's what the clue was back then. That the AI... Don't trust AI for that stuff, guys. I learned my lesson. So at least we don't have to sit here and ponder it, because honestly I don't think I would have been able to put that together myself, at least not right away. But man, okay, so we're kind of cruising through this now. Assuming that this is right, which I think it is. So... I need to return to the title then, and we need to at least leave 3 seconds between each, leaving at least, so maybe use 4 just in case. Yeah, I'll do that. So there's Sobe. She's sitting on the rock there. So we're gonna take our cursor here, and I guess I'll click because I don't know what controller button it would be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4. There we go.
Oh, you know that signal, do you?
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, she's got like completely black eyes. I guess there's a little bit of white on the edge.
That signal is extremely important to me. I won't allow just anyone to use it, least of all on some childish whim. So first, I have to be sure. Who are you?
Oh shit. Do I say Amade or do I say the Tomokazuki? I guess I would say Amade, right? Because the message was for Made. Oh, I can just type it using my controller. Oh, it's kind of wonky though. Why is it so glitchy? No, I just want regular A. Just regular A. Oh, now I have 2 A's. Oh gosh, this is wonk. Made. I think it's just like mare, but it's Made, I think is how you say it. Oh shit, I hope I'm spelling that right. Huh? Made? So you don't know who you are after all. I have nothing to say to someone who's lost sight of themselves, not even if they know that signal. Goodbye. Huh. Did I spell it wrong? I may have spelled it wrong. Was there like 2 R's maybe? Let me see. No, I was right. It's M-A-R-E. Okay, so I have to say the Tomokazuki? Who is it? Who would I be? Okay, hello Mare, can you hear me? I tried to weave my thoughts into this scale to leave you a message. I hope it reaches you. Listen, it came up with a secret signal for when you need to call me. From now on, if you don't use the signal, I won't respond, so be careful. You need to call me 4 times, leaving at least 3 seconds between. That's the rule, don't forget it. It's a promise, just between you and me. I'm confused. So does it need to be Sato or the Tomokazuki? Who would I be in this scenario? Or Osato? Because Sato did know the mermaids at one point. Over 400 years ago. Okay, so here's our new puzzle. We gotta figure this one out. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you again? Have you remembered who you are yet? I fucking hope so. Osato. I'm gonna try Osato because that's what her name was way back then. Huh? Osato. That's not it either. God damn. Okay. I'm clicking too fast, I guess. Alright, so let me just wait a good amount of time. Click. 1, 2, 3, 4. 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 Click. Okay, I must have to like load back in the game. She's just like, stop tapping me on the shoulder. I'm not listening to you. Who would I be? Could just be Sato, or it could be what her princess name was. What was that, like Hatsune? It would be traditions and history, I think. Yeah, Princess Hatsune. I'm pretty confused. So we got a few things we can try still. So let's keep going. Let's keep trying. I don't know. Maybe it really wants the Tomokazuki because that's what they were calling me. Okay, hold on. I got to remember how to spell that. Let me see. I'm going to try Tomokazuki next. Files. Phenomena. Tomokazuki. Let me just go ahead and type it somewhere really quick. Tomokazuki. Just so I don't forget. And I'm confident about the spelling. Okay, let's try that. So I'm trying. Okay. Tomokazuki. And I'm saying, I think this could be it because the game has told me that's what I am by Yuza deciding that's what I'm called. So we'll try that. I gave Yuza the vision. Nope. Okay. Damn it. Who am I talking to Sobe? How am I supposed to know? Hey, what's up? Welcome back, man. How's it going? I'm trying to solve this freaking puzzle. I have to figure out the right name. Who am I in this scenario? I don't know. At the main menu, I'm just me, the player. Okay, let's see. So I tried Tomokazuki, I tried Osato, I tried Made. Made makes the most sense because that's who she says in the message is for, or the signal is for. Oh, did Made have another name or something? Let me see. Did she have Made Somakawa? I guess maybe I could try her full name, but I doubt that's what it is. Trying to scan to see if she had like another name. It doesn't look like it's mentioning any other name that she went by. Damn, because the message was for her. Just grinding some Pokemon champions? Nice. Sounds like fun, dude. What are you grinding in there? Just like doing some levels and stuff? Leveling up some Pokemons? Let's see. What should I try next? I could just try Sato instead of Osato. Or I could try Hatsune, because Sato's got 3 names. Maybe I'll try Sato next. This is a tricky one. It's really hard to understand what the game was thinking, who I would be in this scenario at the main menu, other than the player. It'd be weird if it was player or something like that. I'd be so annoyed, because that's not who I am. If anything, the name they've given me is Tomokazuki. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Am I going too fast? She's not answering me anymore. Uh-oh, Sobe's giving me the cold shoulder, dude. Trying to get 2 Master Balls here. I was very close last time. Oh, nice. Okay. So what is Pokemon Champions exactly? I guess I'm not sure about that game specifically. Is it like a competitive thing then? That you're trying to get to a tier? I'm trying to remember. Have I played Champions? Which one is that one? Alright, let me try this again.
1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, click. There we go. Shit, was I just gonna try Sato? So I feel like it's gonna be some dumb metagame thing. Okay, god damn it. Dude, don't make me look this one up. I want to figure it out. It's just not obvious to me. But that's all freaking puzzles. I'm such a freaking moron. No puzzle's obvious to me. 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, click. My seconds must be way too long. That's why I should just count to 4. Oh, she's not answering. Sobe! Competitive doubles and single game. Just battling. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. I don't think I've played that before. That's interesting. Well, good luck to you. Hopefully you get to Master Ball. Is Master Ball the top tier then? Or is there one above that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going too fast. I think I'm getting too anxious. Okay, so we tried Sato, tried Tomokazuki, so I guess it's Hatsune now. Have you remembered who you are yet? I guess maybe that's the clue. Remembered who you are. Hatsune might be it then. Hatsune. I think that's how you spell it. No. Oh, dude, I don't know. I'm starting to get irritated. I might just have to look it up. I honestly have no clue what clues I'm supposed to use. All right, let me look through the profiles maybe a little bit more. Let me look at Sato's profile. Does she want like a first and last name or something? Maybe she wants it to be Mare Somekawa, maybe? I could try that. I'll just be like irritated if it's something that seems simple once I know it, you know? I hate when that happens. It goes Pokeball, Great Ball, Ultra Ball, Master Ball, then Champion tier. Okay, so Champion's top tier then. Gosh, yeah, okay. Who you running with on your team? Alright, let's see. Sato. Serious girl currently lodging at Shinobi Wakamoto. She was originally a maidservant working at the Bureau of Animo during the Heian period, 800 years prior, where she was forced to eat mermaid flesh by Kira no Tomoshige. Yeah, nothing in here. Doesn't even mention how she was Princess Hatsune. But I feel like that's like, as the player, that's what we learn about her, is that she was the princess. Or she was kind of like, she wasn't actually a princess, but she was like going by that. Like that was like her alias or something at some point. Because she was already like 400 years old by that point. And that's why she was on Taishuma. I feel like I'm getting those points right, but how do I put this together? Maybe I'll try Mare Somekawa this time. Alright, let me make sure I get that right by typing it here. I always second guess myself when I get to the typing part, so I'm just going to write it on this screen here. Somekawa. And we'll try that. We'll try first and last name. Maybe that's what Sobe wants. She wants to know you're not just any Mare, but you're Mare Somekawa. Because that's who she would have been when she became close to Mare. Or to Sobe. When they came, but they were getting close. Alright, let's see. Return the title. Try first and last. Only a few hundred people get the champion, though. Oh, man. So that's a pretty elite tier then, huh? Interesting. Click. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. The whole remembered who you are thing keeps throwing me off because I keep thinking that's like trying to invoke the idea of Sato, because Sato, you know, she's an immortal. She forgets who she is. I don't think Made was ever an immortal. She's just an ancestor of Taishima. Nope, not that one either. Okay, dude, I have no freaking clue. Because she says Made in her message. I have nothing to say to someone who's lost sight of themselves, not even if they know that signal. Lost sight of them? What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? God, I don't know. I feel like this should be obvious. Every time a text box comes up in this game, I will say my freaking heart sings because I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get this wrong. But I've done pretty good on the other ones. This one, it's got me stumped. Mermaid who said to have lived near Taishima 4 years ago. She has since returned to her home. Yeah, see, right here it says she has since returned to her home Ryugu. That's why I thought we wouldn't be able to get her flesh. Huh, but I don't know what she's going to say once we get the right name, though. Who am I when I'm at the main menu? Am I not thinking meta enough? Who am I? Lost sight of who they are. Should I just put the word player in? I feel so dumb with that one. That one seems like a dumb one. I'm not gonna lie. My team is oh, I don't know how to say some of these. Shadowlon, Gudra, Pelipper, Mega Gyarados, or Mega Metacham, and Giraffe. Oh, that's Giraffe's like new form, right? I do have other teams, but that's the main one I use. It's sort of anti-meta. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. I'm all for the anti-meta, dude. I get upset with those games sometimes when I try to play like the card games and stuff because the meta gets so hardcore and like everyone's using it. That's just like, come on, guys. I thought it was about choosing your own path. But you know, that's just how these kind of games work, though. You know, they always have meta, so good on you, I say, for anti-meta, dude. I feel like I just never have the patience to figure out good anti-meta, and that's why I usually just end up going, I'm just gonna play another game. I'm bad at PvP. I'm just not that kind of person, I guess. I'd rather play a game like this where it pisses me off because I can't figure out the fucking puzzle. Okay, I'm just gonna try player. I know it sounds stupid, but maybe it's right because that is who I am. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, because I don't know what else would you call, what else would you call me as like who I am in this scenario? I am the player. Yeah, okay, didn't think that'd work. That sounded stupid, so there you go. Confirmed, dumb idea. Okay, oh gosh. Maybe I could try using the AI to get a hint, but last time that burned me. But there's not much more to give away, so maybe it would be okay. Give me a hint. Is there anything else I can think to look at, though, before I resort to that? Who am I? Who am I in that moment? Who am I? Trying to contact Sobe. Who am I? I already tried Tomokazuki. I already tried Osato. I already tried Hatsune. I believe I tried Sato as well. I don't know that I tried Sato. I guess I could try Sato, but Sato doesn't know Sobe as Sato, so I don't know, but that doesn't mean that the game wouldn't let that happen. Because when she knew her, she was Princess Hatsune or Osato. And in this moment, Sato is the one that's putting the thing in the Tomokazuki, but in the main menu, it's not Sato, it's me. I don't know. I'm just gonna try Sato. I want to exhaust all my options before I try to get a hint. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 3 shiny Pokemon on your team, so yeah, nice. Do shiny Pokemon have different stats, or is it just that they look different? I've never really gotten into the whole shiny thing. I've known some people to be shiny hunters and stuff, but I guess I never really thought about it. Do they have different stats? Do they have better stats too? Because that'd be kind of cool. Especially since they can be so hard to find. Just Sato? No, Sato didn't work either. I'm certainly not Yuza. I'm not any of the characters, honestly, because again, I'm on the main menu. I'm not in a chapter. Fuck, that might be all I got, man. I'm not sure. I'd love to find another clue instead of just getting the answer, though. Hopefully, maybe if I can ask Gemini, maybe it will give me a hint of where I should look. At least make sure I'm looking in the right place. I feel like I've exhausted everything I know about Sobe. And I've tried a few meta prompts, and none of that's worked. Let me go to the file on the Tomokazuki really quick, because I'm apparently the Tomokazuki. This is just the tale of Tomokazuki's. Silent Dawn symbols. Yeah, it's not telling me anything. Dash it all. I mean, I could say the other mermaid names, but I don't know how that makes any sense. Like Nagami or Hatsune. Or no, not Hatsune. What was the other one? What was the other one's name? Hatsune was Sato's fake name. Can't remember what the other one's name was. I thought it started with an H. Doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it's not that. Just cosmetic, but no different stats. Oh, okay. So the stats aren't different. Okay. That'd be kind of cool maybe if they were just slightly different, but maybe that wouldn't be cool. Like for the competitiveness of it, I guess. I'm not sure. For the balance. I think we're gonna have to get a hint. I have exhausted everything. So yeah, we can go through what I've tried. Sato, tried Player, tried Made Sumikawa, I've tried Hatsune, I've tried Sato, I've tried Tomokazuki, I've tried Osato, I've tried Made. Man, I can't think of any other good ones. Of who I would be at the... It's a meta puzzle. I keep coming back to that. It's a meta puzzle, so it's probably a meta answer. But what other meta answer can I give besides Tomokazuki or Player? Okay, I'm going to see what Gemini says. Let's see if it can give me a small hint, but not the answer. I'm telling you what I've tried. See if that helps at all. None of those have worked. Can you... Keep asking it to give me a hint without giving me the answer. Come on, please. Okay, well, thank you. It's sycophanting me, saying the names you tried make perfect sense. Yeah, thank you. Okay, whatever. The game is asking me to think bigger, outside the confines of the characters themselves. Okay, but isn't that what I did when I said player? Oh, God. Oh, okay, hold on. So saying direct witness. Sobe's demanding to know who is actually there talking to her. Do I use my Steam username? Let me try that. Like, man, that's so meta. That's more meta than I was thinking. It didn't say that. I didn't read everything Gemini said. I'm trying to do this without being told. Let me try my Steam username. I'm Dom Dynamite. So let me try typing in Dom Dynamite. Wouldn't that be wild if that was the answer? Yeah. One, two, three, four. Click. One, two, three, four. Click. One, two, three, four. Because at first I was like, what, do I put my actual name in there? And it's like, wait, no. But the game would have access to my username on Steam, right? Like, is this game on other... I mean, either way, whatever platform you're on, you're going to have a username, right? Okay, I am Dom Dynamite. Nope. God damn, that would have been cool, though. I'm pretty sure I don't have a space in my Steam name, right? I don't think you can even do that. Oh, I do. Oh, maybe I'll try it with the space. Maybe that's what it was. Try it again with the space. Could just be that. Okay. I am Dom Space Dynamite. No, damn. God, that would have been so cool. I would have really liked that one. She wants to know who I am. I'm supposed to be thinking bigger. Okay, let's read another sentence of what Gemini said. See if I can't get any closer. She knows she's talking to the entity that has been pulling the strings, jumping timelines, and possessing the characters throughout the entire game. Which I wrote Tomokazuki. That's what Yuza calls me. What else? Who else is called? What has the storyteller called me anything? Has the storyteller called me anything? Let me go back into the game, see if I can't see any text from the storyteller if I scroll up enough. Oh, come on. I don't know if it lets me scroll up that high. Oh, it doesn't. Damn. I can't talk to the storyteller directly. I'm trying to think if they've ever called me anything, but I don't think they do. I think they just start talking to me. Okay, let me read another bullet point here. Think back to the very beginning of the game, before you ever took control of Shogo or any of the curse bearers. Shogo? Who the fuck is Shogo? I think Gemini's fucking up there a little bit. It's really bad with names sometimes. Yeah, it's talking about me talking to the storyteller. It says you sat in a dark room and had a direct face-to-face conversation with a specific individual who laid out the rules of the entire experience. That's the storyteller. Am I supposed to say storyteller? I guess I'll try that next before I read the next bullet point. Storyteller? I'm not the storyteller, though. I'm the story experiencer, but that it's not that. I'll try storyteller, but I feel like if it's that, I'm gonna think this is not that great a puzzle, because that doesn't make any sense. Storyteller. Yeah, I think that would be it. I'm glad it wasn't. Because that would be kind of dumb. But what does it tell me? Does it tell me anywhere what did he call me something? It must be something he called me, because it's talking to him, but I can't go back in the text timeline that far. Is there like a file or something? Okay, let me go to the next bullet point. The title held by only one. The entity you met at the start gave you a very specific title. It's a role that only you occupy in the grand experience. Okay, so he did call me something. I just don't... Oh man, I don't remember what it was. How do I find that? Is it in the files? In gameplay guide, maybe? There's a question mark one here. Diving controls, diving tips, underwater gathering. Maybe it'd be in how to play somewhere. Don't think it'll be in the diving controls, but you know what? Let's look through them. Who knows? It's gotta be somewhere in like the gameplay guide, right? I feel like that's the only thing that makes sense. There is this stupid question mark one. Maybe this is something shows up here once she gives me her hint, I guess. Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've never understood why this one's here. The Toba seabed skeletons. I've never understood why this one is in the gameplay guide. Is this somehow the clue? The case in which multiple skeletons were recovered from a deep fissure on the Toba seabed. The initial estimate indicated that at least 5 bodies have been disposed of here. This makes no sense that this would be a part of it, but all victims are male. Each body is thought to have been disposed of. This indicates that the individual in the sketch resembles a youth by the name of Kipe Ikoma, who went missing 6 years ago. He has no known relatives. Right. And that's who Tomoshige took his identity. He's the one that killed him. We know that, but that has nothing to do with what we're doing right now. It would be crazy if it was in the Mockingbirds thing. Okay. Phenomenon curses. Gonna go ahead and just take a little peek through here, see if there's anything that might jump out at me as like maybe having this answer. Oh, maybe is there a profile on the storyteller? Would it say it in there? Let me try that. Yeah, there is. Who knows who visit Paranormasight? Everything else about him remains a mystery. That doesn't help at all. Okay, I feel like we're definitely drilling down on what the word is supposed to be, but I don't know where to find the word. Okay, maybe Gemini will help me find a place for that. If you look at the files menu, okay, specifically under the 7 mysteries or the metalore sections, if you've unlocked them, metalore section. That's the 7 mysteries of Hanjo. You're thinking about the first game, right? That's what that one was called. I don't assume there'd be anything in here for 7 mysteries. Maybe. Man, sometimes Gemini sucks, and it does like hallucinate a lot on this kind of thing. Yeah, there ain't shit on that. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Gemini. Let's see. Try to see if I can't pull something out of here, though. If you recall how the mysterious guide addressed you, he didn't call you a player or a spirit. He used a more formal, specific term for someone conducting or observing a test. Oh, God, what was it? I can't even think of an example of what he could have said. Observer? I mean, I'm guiding. Well, he wouldn't call me a guide, right? Because I was just thinking, I'm guiding the players through it. So am I a guide? Maybe? I mean, that doesn't sound like a crazy answer, but that doesn't sound like something the storyteller would call me. He might call me the observer or something. But that honestly seems a little clunky too, in my opinion. Let me read another bullet point here. Who's the person orchestrating this entire story chart? Who is the one guiding the narrative path? Okay, see, it's talking about the guiding thing. So did I say guide? You refresh on the exact wording. You can actually look at the very first file entry in your database. The very first file? May Prefecture? I don't understand how it would be in here. This is the very first file in the database. Look at the eastern part of Key Peninsula. Falls into the Chuba Key. Shape. Yeah, I don't think it's in here. I think it's full of crap. I might try guide though. We'll try that. I guess. Okay, let's see. Oh, come on. I wasn't going that fast. Click. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. There we go. I swear I didn't go that fast. Okay, let's see. Is it guide? Nope. Okay, there's one other way I feel like I could. I could start a new game and see what he calls me. But start game just puts me into my current file. I get multiple save slots, but can I not start another game? Okay, maybe I don't have that option. Without, like, deleting my current game. I don't want to do that. Shoot. Is there something in the options somewhere? Would it be, like, that meta? The last game had some options stuff. No. Nothing in there. Alright, I might have to ask it some more stuff. Let's see, what's the last thing it said here? So close to the end game now. Step back into the shoes of the person who first sat down in that mysterious room, and you'll find the identity she's looking for. The person who sat down in the mysterious room. Isn't that just me? I don't... Now you're being too obtuse here, I feel like. Maybe not. I'm correcting it on the fact that it said the 7 Mysteries thing, because it's like, that's the first game. I'm not playing the 7 Mysteries of Hanjo. I'm playing Mermaid's Curse. Okay, and it's like, oh, you caught me, blah, blah, blah. So we know she isn't dealing with a regular human or an isolated local curse bearer. She's demanding the identity of the outside force that has been observing jumping paths. Yeah, but what is the word for it? That's what I'm starting to get frustrated about. Like, what word do they call me? The meta reality of your input. When the game asks you to manually input who you are to someone demanding the ultimate truth, it often bypasses the names of characters in the narrative file system. Think about what it actually bridges the gap between you, the person holding the controller and keyboard, in the game world. I thought I tried my username. Does it want my original Steam username and not my display name? Because I used to go by Blue Calcifer. Is that what it wants? God, that name is so old. It'd be crazy if it was that. It's saying that I may have put in a name at the beginning. Take a look at your actual system settings with the main save file selection screen. It just says slot 1. What are you talking about? Man, I swear AI is bad at giving hints. Stuff like this. I appreciate that's not just telling me the answer though, but maybe it can't, because it's acting like I typed something in at the beginning of the game, but it's got to tell me that somewhere, right? If I type something in, it must be somewhere in here. I guess maybe I just put Dom, maybe that's all it is. I'll just put Dom, and we'll try that. Maybe it wasn't Dom Dynamite, I just typed in Dom. I do feel like the game could definitely be trying to do that. It's trying to like pull the player that far in by using a name that they gave themselves in it. So I am Dom. No, god damn it. What would I have put in there? System config menu. I was already looking in here and I didn't see anything. Yeah, there's nothing in here. What are you talking about? It says, yeah, try using a specific personal identifier. Man, with it being this difficult, I don't think I ever would have solved this by myself. I think I'm gonna have to get like an actual answer at some point. Okay, now it's starting to get away from the idea of it being meta for some reason. It's like, wait, are you just guessing now? Somebody isn't just asking out of idle curiosity. She will only speak or cooperate with someone who carries a specific bloodline or heritage related to the island. Think about the core protagonist of the game, the character whose family history. Does it use that? It's harder than some Zelda puzzles. Dude, I agree. I guess it could be Yuza. I've always thought of Yuza as the main character. Okay, so this could make sense. It could be Yuza. I don't know why I didn't try Yuza already. Because Sobe is the one that made Yuza immortal. But it's just like, I think it's because I keep getting caught up with the fact that I'm on the main menu. And I'm like, I'm not anybody in the main menu. I'm not Yuza. Certainly not Yuza. But maybe she would answer to Yuza. That's the thing. It's like I keep getting mixed up as like, does she actually know who I am on some level, or am I supposed to impersonate somebody in the game? And freaking AIs pull me back and forth here with this crap. Okay, because it's like, tell me the storyteller called me something, but like that's not lining up if it's Yuza. But I'm still gonna try it. I'm gonna try Yuza. 1, 2, 3, 4, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, bam. Alright, let's try Yuza. Remembered who I am. Yeah, how does that make any sense if it's Yuza? Nothing she's saying lines up with Yuza. It was Yuza. Oh my god. How is it Yuza? Nothing lines up with Yuza. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why did Made work? Because Sobe knows Made is dead? Oh my god. Why was it Yuza? Okay. At least we got it. It was simpler than I thought. I tried so many other names besides Yuza. I just didn't think it'd be Yuza because Yuza has nothing to do with how I got here. So you do know. Allow me to welcome you, Yuza Minakuchi, or rather, Yuza Minakuchi's severed consciousness. Oh, that's what we're saying? So I am the Tomokazuki. Dude, that's so... Oh, man. That's so weird. I can't even accept that as like a valid answer. His severed consciousness. So I am the severed head of Yuza from the first timeline when he got his head chopped off, and then that became the vision that the good timeline Yuza saw through the Tomokazuki. So I'm his severed okay, so I think this is harkening back to a conversation that Yuza had. Let me try to push this together to make it make sense. So at one point, Yuza's talking to Yumiko, which Yumiko is a former mermaid or whatever, but she's like the housewife lady who now works for the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. She was talking to Yuza about him being an 800-year immortal, and he asked her this interesting question that I thought had some sort of purpose to it, I guess. But it would not in a million years thought it connected to this. But he asks her, so like, what if I'm completely incinerated? What he asked her first, or like put into like a barrel of acid? Like, how does like the regeneration work? And then Nagami's like, well, or sorry, Yumiko is what she's going by. She's like, well, you would still regenerate. You would regenerate from whatever piece of you is left that's closest to your heart. And so then that led Yuza to say like, well, what if my head was chopped off? And that wouldn't that imply that my head would grow back? And if my head grew back, would I still be the same person? Would I still have the same memories? Would I still have the same personality? Because all of that is thought to be stored in the brain. And if my brain is being regenerated, how could I still have all the same like properties or whatever? And then I think Yumiko's like, I think she said something to where she's like, well, I mean, I guess you could be like a different person or have a different personality or something like that.
but didn't give any definitive answer because I don't think she actually knows. She's never experimented with any of that, obviously. So I think that's what this is hearkening back to. His severed consciousness is his head having gotten chopped off, and then became, like, all of those memories became the vision that Yuza saw when he touched the Tomokazuki underwater. Which the Tomokazuki, for context, is like this underwater phenomenon where divers would see a reflection of themselves. Like, they would see themselves, but they would be always, the ghost of themselves would be holding something that they wanted. And when they were to go to reach for it, it said that the Tomokazuki would then grab you and pull you underwater and drown you. And I guess it's sort of what would have happened to Yuza if he wasn't an immortal. So instead of having anything in its hand was empty, and I guess it just had information, and the information was the first timeline where everybody dies and Yuza gets his head chopped off. So I think that's what this is talking about. That's how I'm going to think about it. That's the connection I think they're making here. But man, I would never have guessed this, dude. I never would have guessed this. Crazy. Okay, so Yuza Minakuchi's severed consciousness. That's who we are. Okay. I am the mermaid called Sobe. You've passed through here 28 times now. I suppose it's not that strange you noticed me. That's interesting. It actually counts how many times I've loaded the game. I wonder if in that 28 is all the times that I've tried different names. I mean, I've not tried 28 names, I think, but maybe that's that plus all the times I've loaded all my streams. This is the place you humans call Ryugu. Though I hear it's also called things like the Eternal World and the World Beyond. Feel free to call it what you like. Whatever the name, it's one of the many worlds that souls of the departed move on to after life. Well, I suppose that's not entirely accurate. The space we're in now serves more as its boundary than anything else. Ah, the crossroads. There's something I always wanted to talk to you about. Something I had to talk to you about if we ever happened to meet. Though I never thought you'd come seek me out like this, in the form you are in now. But it seems you have your own reasons for doing so. You wish to speak with me, yes? So, what shall we talk about first? Give me my boundary, tell me about my mom. So what do you mean by boundary? How to explain? This is a space that connects the two worlds you can travel between. The world the living Yuza Minakuchi inhabits, and the world that you, a severed portion of Yuza Minakuchi's consciousness, usually exist in. Wait, what? Usually exist in? Okay. As a spirit, you will always pass through this space when traveling to the world of the living. Normally, something like this would be unthinkable, if not impossible. But it seems you are something of an exception. Was there anything else? Like, I feel like a lot of this isn't totally lining up. Like, it's like mixing the meta with the story a little bit, like, too much to the point where I'm actually kind of confused. All right, tell me about my mom. You're asking if Made and I were friends? I'm only going to say this once. You might be Made's son, but I won't stand for you intruding upon our relationship. The relationship Made and I had can't be described by so simple a word as friends. This isn't the only word that souls of the dead journey to after life. Wait, so this isn't the only world that souls of the dead journey to after life, you know. Their number is immeasurable. There are worlds beyond counting. Made's soul has gone somewhere far, far away. Even here in Ryugu, I won't be able to see her again. So don't ask me anymore. Leave me to my memories of her. Is there anything else? See, I thought they may have been in love, but I don't know. It's almost weird to say that it's love in some ways. I don't know. It's also weird that Sobe is a half human, half fish. Because, God, I wish I could remember her name. The one that was tortured, when we see her spirit, she is like just a woman's head in a full like dragon fish's body. But to be fair to the game, Avi did confirm that both types of mermaids exist apparently. What happened on the day of the disaster? Yes, of course you'd want to know about that.
I do owe you an explanation of what happened back then. 5 years ago, on the day the calamity struck. Let's get this out of the way first. I was indeed the one who made you an 800-year immortal. But if you come here looking for a way to regain humanity, I'm sorry, but that's no longer possible. Even as a mermaid, there's nothing I can do. You, or rather, the Yuza Minakuchi of the mortal world, are now bound to live out the remaining 795 years of your life there, neither aging nor dying. Nothing can reverse this now. Now then, let me tell you what happened on that day 5 years ago, and about the years leading up to it. Okay. Oh, interesting. Now Sobe's profile is more filled out. Interesting. Made Sobe. After becoming unable to return to Ryugu, Sobe had ceased to show herself on the surface, even before members of the Somikawa line. However, upon noticing that 400 years had passed since the sinking of Taishima, she cautiously attempted contact with the current generation's inheritor of the family duty, a woman by the name of Made Somikawa. In the past, any human she encountered had either treated her as an object of worship or sought her flesh. Perhaps as a result, she immediately sensed something was different about Made, who treated her in a friendly manner from the moment of their meeting and promised to do all she could to return her to Ryugu. There was no pretense in Made's bearing, and her attitude when speaking to Sobe was casual and lighthearted. Gradually, Sobe began to open up to her. After some time, they agreed on a secret signal and began meeting surreptitiously, growing closer the more they learned about each other. A strange sense of trust began to blossom between them, one transcending the boundaries of their respective species. Made had originally resolved to remain single and never start a family of her own in order to devote herself entirely to her duty with Sobe. So I guess that's pretty close to love. However, Sobe strongly opposed this, saying that Made's life here would continue even when she was gone. So Made should not deny herself a possible future with her own family. She had seen how happy one of her former compatriots had been upon finding love, and believed Made deserved to know such joy as well if she wished to. Made seemed unbothered at the thought, but said that she would consider it if someone suitable ended up coming along. However, that moment came sooner than expected. Upon moving to Kamishima, she met the love of her life, Tosuke Minakuchi. Sobe was delighted for Made and offered her heartfelt congratulations upon hearing of their marriage. While she did not understand the joy of having a family herself, she was gratified to see Made so happy. It was Made's constant wish to be able to introduce her beloved family to her dearest friend, but was forbidden to reveal the existence of mermaids to anyone, even her husband and child. Eventually, the two reached a compromise. Sobe said she would meet with them when the time came for her to return to Ryugu, reasoning that there would be no harm in revealing herself for such a short space of time. This agreement became a cherished promise between them. Thus did the years continue to pass, Made's son growing all the while, till the day of the Kamishima Southern Sea disaster arrived. Southern Sea disaster. In the days leading up to the disaster, a strange rumbling could be heard coming from the sea. Sobe took this as a sign that a storm caused by the curse of the raging waves was approaching, and she and Made mistakenly concluded that this meant the seal on Ryugu's entrance would soon be lifted. Although the timing was earlier than expected, the two were overcome with excitement at the thought that Sobe could finally fulfill her long-held dream of returning home, and couldn't bring themselves to doubt the signs. They put together a plan. Even if the storm were to come while they were out at sea, Made could use the bronze mirror to suppress it, allowing Sobe to pass through the entrance to Ryugu alone. Resolved that this was where they would part ways, the two spent the final night together, talking until the sun rose. On the day their plan would be put into action, Made took Tosuke and Yuza out into the bay on a boat to introduce them to Sobe as promised. Okay, so that's why they were all there. That's why she brought Yuza. Although pained by having to part with Sobe, she was buoyed by the thought that she would now be able to devote herself fully to motherhood and to her family that had always protected her without reservation. Sobe, meanwhile, was secretly trailing them from the seabed. Disliking the sound of propellers, she was unable to get close to the boat as it was moving. The raging storm.
The storm that suddenly broke out around them far exceeded all expectations. Even the bronze mirror was not enough to calm it, and the sea churned and roiled around them as if the heavens themselves were unleashing their wrath. The small fishing boat carrying the Minakuchi family began to take on water, and it was not long before it started to sink. Sobe immediately rushed to their aid, reaching them just as they had fitted Yuza with a life buoy and gotten him off the boat. The couple still clung desperately to the sinking boat as it was tossed about by the waves. Upon seeing Sobe, Tosuke's reaction was surprisingly composed. Whether already resolved to meet his fate or just mellow by nature, his first response after Made introduced her was to greet her cheerfully, thanking her for keeping Made company and expressing surprise that Made's faraway friend had turned out to not be a human. Sobe, however, had no time for pleasantries. Consumed only by the thought of getting them to safety, she tried to carry them all from the boat, but even a single person proved to be almost too much for her. Naturally, she also lacked the strength needed to tow the boat out of danger. Even her nature as a mermaid wasn't enough to allow her to save someone precious to her when it mattered most. Filled with distress at her own powerlessness, Sobe was overcome by a sense of despair. Frantic, she tried to take only Made with her in a bid to escape the sinking boat, but Made rebuffed her attempt. She had no intention of being the only one saved. Instead, she and Tosuke pleaded for Sobe to help Yuza, saying that his survival meant more to them than anything else. Sobe could not understand. She refused to. She had prepared herself to bid farewell to Made, but parting like this was too painful for her to bear. Made, for her part, continued agonizing to Sobe despite the looming threat of her own death. Concerned for her friend's safety and feeling deep regret at being unable to see Sobe back home, it was more than Sobe could stand. At that moment, Sobe's innermost feelings came into sharp relief. Part of her, deep down, resented Yuza and Tosuke with all her being. She was happy as long as she had Made, but Made had her family to love as well. And yet, it was Sobe herself who had wished for Made to find happiness by starting a family of her own. Overwhelmed by unfamiliar emotions of conflict and self-loathing, she found herself unable to think clearly. Smiling as she clung to the sinking boat, half submerged in seawater, Made thanked Sobe for her friendship and told her that the days they had spent together had been some of her happiest. Sobe was devastated. Every part of her rejected the entire situation. She didn't want to hear Made bid farewell to her like this. She didn't want to part with Made at all. She wanted to grab hold of her friend and carry her away to safety, by force if necessary. Even returning home to Ryugu no longer mattered to her as much as this. But she couldn't ignore Made's plea for her to save her son. Wrenching herself away from the sinking boat, Sobe headed to rescue Yuza, all the while resenting the boy for the tremendous love that Made bore him. The 800-year Immortal. When she found Yuza, he had been caught up in the whirlpool and was barely clinging to life. Sobe caught herself feeling almost satisfied at the sight, thinking that it served him right. If it hadn't been for Yuza, she could have saved Made, but Made's plea for her to save Yuza, that her only wish was for him to survive, echoed in Sobe's mind. The next moment, she dragged the dying Yuza out of the whirlpool and, pulling a piece off her own tail, forcibly fed it to him. Whether the emotions driving her at this point were a desire to fulfill Made's wish or hatred towards Yuza, even Sobe herself couldn't say. After carrying Yuza out of the reach of the storm, Sobe immediately went to rescue Made. She finally found her after 3 long days of searching, but her efforts had been in vain. Made's body was already cold. Once someone had died, it was beyond even a mermaid's power to bring them back. Sobe clung to Made's body and wept. Never again would she hear Made's voice calling her name. She laid Made's body to rest on the seabed and, hiding herself beside it, spent her days mourning, lost in the depths of despair. Several years later, the entrance to Ryugu was unsealed, and Sobe, now with no remaining attachments to the mortal world, made to return home by herself. Before doing so, she met with Made's sister, thinking to reclaim the mermaid's relic from her. However, put off by the woman's blatant avarice, she found herself unable to muster any interest in her, and ultimately returned without reclaiming the relic despite knowing full well the misfortune it could bring. That was her trying to get the Tome Tobacco back from, what's her name? Azusa. But yeah, Azusa was not in a good place, so But she really wanted to be a mermaid, and she really wanted to meet a mermaid really bad. But she ended up just pissing Sobe off. Wow. What a sad story. I really enjoy it, though. Looking back now, what I did to you was wrong. It was an extreme situation, yes, but I must have been mad to even consider it. Every time I remember, I wonder what on earth I was thinking. How could I have done something so cruel to the son Mare loved so much? Even though nothing that happened was your fault. I don't expect you to forgive me, but let me at least say this. I'm sorry. I would do anything within my power to ease your burden. There's something you can do. You can make Sato an immortal again so we can be together for 800 years. What? You want a piece of my flesh? But why? I suppose it's not impossible. You could bring it back to the mortal world using the relic I left there. Normally this would be forbidden, but I suppose I was the cause of all this. Maybe it counts as an attempt at making amends, if nothing else. There, it's done. I'll send it to the other side. You'll be able to take it from the box there. The mermaid flesh has been transferred to the Tamatabako. The current holder of the box may claim it as their own from the evening of August 7th. It seems you've done everything you came to do. Then this is where we part ways. Know that I won't respond anymore, even if you call me with that signal. Having a means of calling me was prohibited in the first place. Live and be happy, Yuza. For Mare's sake. For all the years she never got to see. Be sure to tell him that when you return to him in the mortal world. Okay. Got Discover of Ryugu achievement. Okay, so now it's just going to be in the Tometabako. So, take it back out. Okay, it's not August 7th, so that's why it's not there, I guess. So August 7th must be the day that the conclusion happens. Because that's the day we had an option that we couldn't select as Yuza. So we'll just move, that'll end this chapter. And then, so I think there's two things that we can do. I think we could make it to where Sato doesn't get the Tometabako, and then the flesh should end up in Avi's possession, and I guess that probably will add a chapter here or something, and have an ending where Avi becomes immortal. And then we have the conclusion one where I assume Sato will be able to open the box. Start from Bay. Yeah, August 7th. Okay, so yeah, it should be in the box now. It's interesting that it's just in the box. That's how it works. I thought they had to put it in the box themselves after getting it from her. Later, Tsukasa called us together, saying she needed to talk to us tonight. We decided to meet up here. The police investigation was in full swing in the town center and around the Wakamura residence, but out in the bay, everything was quiet. You okay now, Tsukasa? Kinda. Some lawyer wants me to go meet him the day after tomorrow. But I'm not even sure what I want to do yet, and honestly, I'm still in shock over what happened earlier. Tsukasa, don't rush this, okay? You shouldn't make a big decision like this till you feel ready. This is about your future, no one else's. You gotta think it over carefully and do what's best for you. Azumi. You're right. Thanks for worrying about me. But I didn't call you guys out here to talk about that. Sato, there's something I've got to know. Oh, okay. What is it? See, I overheard a bit of what went down with Ikoma when I was up on the roof earlier. You've been alive for 800 years, right? And it sounded like your lifespan must be coming to an end pretty soon. Was that for real? Sorry. I didn't know how to tell you. So it's true. Yeah,
I don't remember anything from that far back, but I've always known how long I had left.
Seriously? Then how long?
I think tomorrow might be my last day.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow night. This body of mine will fade away like a spray of sea foam. Why didn't you say something? There's so little time left.
Isn't there anything we can do to delay it? Come on, please tell me there's a way to change this.
I swear, maybe? Oh, and now I can say actually, so there's still a grayed out thing, but I think that was the other option. Actually, because I think it was just ... before.
Actually, she's gonna be okay.
Huh?
Sorry, I've been keeping this a secret, but...
Boom, another timeline. Oh, another thing plugged onto the end there. Okay. An eternal conclusion. Yuzo Minakuchi has done everything he must do. All that's left is to see out the end. Oh, yes. I thought it would be like a little branch or something. Oh, it's the storyteller.
All of your efforts have been truly remarkable. The fact that you are seeing this means all of Yuzo Minakuchi's wishes have been fulfilled. You have overcome countless hardships and resolved every dilemma. Congratulations. Now then, as you may be confused as to what exactly has transpired, please allow me to explain. Yuzo Minakuchi's true objective was to obtain the flesh of a mermaid. This was to fulfill his oath of making Sato Shiranami immortal again before her imminent demise, that they might live 800 more years together. However, who could have expected multiple curses to strike Kamishima at this very same time? Yes, I'm referring to the Curse of the Raging Waves, born 4 centuries ago, and the Curse of Tomoshige, which had built up over 800 years. While such calamities would appear to offer naught but misfortune, as luck would have it, these curses were blessings in disguise. They led Yuzo Minakuchi down a path that would otherwise not have been possible. One could very well call it a miracle. The key to all of this was, of course, your efforts. Now I shall describe each pivotal event of this story in its order of occurrence. One fated day, August 7th, Yuzo Minakuchi went diving and searched Kamishima for leads to find mermaids. However, that night, Kipei Koma sent Kikuko Tsutsui as an assassin to cause the tragedy of Kamishima, thereby allowing him to capture Sato. This shifted Yuzo Minakuchi's priorities away from his search for mermaid flesh, as he is tragically killed and his mission ends in failure. It would seem that fulfilling his wishes was never in the cards, and he instead met with a terrible fate. However, the consciousness lingering within his severed head witnessed something inexplicable. It was the sight of his 800-year immortal body regenerating a new head. With that, a new mind, complete with all memories intact, formed inside the regenerated head of the resurrected Yuzo Minakuchi. The severed head then disappeared, yet the consciousness that had remained within it did not return to his body. Rather, it became a spirit that crossed over to the afterlife, what some might call the eternal world. Thus was another consciousness separate from Yuzo Minakuchi's primary body formed. And that separated consciousness was you. Okay. Interesting. I guess that's starting to make some of that stuff make sense. And I guess I was right that it had the whole to do with the whole severed head thing. He once asked, "Who am I?" But may I assume the answer has now become clear. This separate consciousness of Yuzo Minakuchi remained in the eternal world despite the firm resolve it held. Growing ever more anguished over its failure without knowing what had occurred afterwards. It dearly desired to find a way to return to its past self and explain the situation before this failure could take place. So it found its way to the boundary between the mortal world and the world beyond. That is to say, it found its way here, to Ryugu. This is the place you laid eyes upon at the very beginning. This is where your duty began. The fact that this place just so happens to be where the mermaids reside turned out to be a stroke of luck. But because you would lose all memory of this fact once you passed through the gate into the mortal world, I stepped in to humbly guide you along your path. Then, as a spirit, you encountered Yuzumi Nakuchi during his dive to the bottom of the sea. Because you resembled a phenomenon known as the Tomokazuki, you were referred to as such. Needless to say, you were not a Tomokazuki. Yet that is how you possessed Yuzumi Nakuchi and shared your fragmented memories with him. Even so, it was not enough. In your spirit form, you had the ability to use the story chart and travel across space and time to possess other individuals. You entered the minds and memories of various people, jumping between each in turn as you earnestly sought to realize your goals. And that is how things progressed behind the scenes during this story. You have fulfilled your role and will now return to the world from whence you came. After you have viewed what part of everyone following these events... Wait, sorry, I read that wrong. After you have viewed what became of everyone following these events, this Paranormasight will finally draw to a close. Thank you very much for your diligent attention. Interesting, okay. I do appreciate that he kind of puts it all together for you there. Really confirms some thoughts I had. Oh, so you've decided to accept your inheritance, but you're going to university first? Uh-huh. The wheels are in motion for me to take over the family business after studying real hard at university. Your whole life must be undergoing some major changes. Are you managing okay? You don't have too much on your plate? Actually, about that. Get this, turns out my ma used to be a certified public accountant. I had no idea. Anyway, the plan's for ma to manage all the assets while I'm studying my butt off. She was apparently waiting like a hawk for the moment to swoop in and make sure you got everything coming to you. So that's why her mom was like cheering and whooping when she found out that Tsukasa's dad died. I don't know if I should call her cunning, but Tsukasa's mom sure knows how to get things done. That's wild. Oh, that reminds me. There was something I wanted to ask you, Azumi. Huh? You mentioned wanting to ask Tsukasa out the other day, so how'd that go? You gonna say that right in front of her? Whoa, Sato, you seriously gonna ask that right in front of everybody? Jeez. I mean, I guess it's fine since I already asked her, but I could have ruined everything. Wait, you did? When did all this go down? No, I couldn't help myself. I've been dying to know. I had to ask, even if it messed up your mojo. You sure are something else, Sato. Anyway, if you need answers that bad, you should ask Tsukasa. So what did you say, Tsukasa? How did he ask? Where was it? Tell us already. You're way too invested, Miss Encyclopedia. You know how things are with me right now. The truth is, I haven't given him an answer yet. Oh, but at least it's not an outright rejection. How long are you going to make him wait? I gotta do some soul searching to figure out how I feel, and I need everything to settle down, so around 4 or 5 years? Oh, damn. That long? You're gonna keep leading the poor guy along all that time? Right? And to top things off, she asked for my help in the meantime. Your help? Yep. I want to take over for Old Man Wakamura and make Kamishima the best place it can be. I want to be way more convenient and bustling than it is now. An island that tourists flock to, you know? That means I'll need to start a business to manage all of that. As you can see, I've got loads of stuff to do. That's why I need to give it to... I need you to give it your all as the leader of Kamishima, Azumi. Which kind of makes sense. He kind of does feel like he would be the guy to be the next, like, leader of the island. Yeah, I guess I want all that stuff for Kamishima, too. That all sounds great. And Azumi will definitely be a big help. My plan is to have Azumi rise up the ranks and help me out with a whole bunch of stuff. Once he becomes a big shot like the mayor or something, then maybe we can start going out. What? That'll take way too long. I'll be an old geezer by then. See what I mean? This is what I have to deal with. Seems like that cunningness runs in the family. That is a weird situation, dude.
Well, you've got something to strive for now. Good luck with it. Quit your belly aching, Azumi. You're doing this for Sato and Yuza too, you know.
Yeah, I know. We talked it all over before. Huh? What do you mean you're doing it for us? Let's just say we were surprised when we heard about you guys the other night. Ah. About how you became an immortal yourself 5 years ago, yeah? By that stage, you'd secretly gotten your hands on some mermaid flesh for Sato.
And now Sato's become an immortal for a second time. Add the fact that you guys have decided to stay together for the next 800 years. It was a lot to swallow all at once.
Yeah, sorry for dropping such a big bombshell on you guys. Also, to be precise, we're going to be together for the next 795 years. What's 5 years when you've got centuries? 5 years is a long time.
Yeah, he's right. And we're going to discuss the idea of going for another 800 years when we get close to the end.
Dude, that'd be crazy. I guess they would both eat another mermaid flesh at the same time, so maybe they could die on the same day. They gotta get in sync, but it's gonna take 795 years to get there. Oh my gosh. And how are they gonna get fucking flesh again, dude? I guess that would be for another game or something.
Yeah, okay, whatever. That's up to you guys. Do whatever you want.
But don't forget that you owe us for keeping such a big secret from us this whole time, got it?
For real. See, I told you we should have gotten their advice from the start.
Yeah, you have been saying that from the get-go.
I know you said you lived on the down low in Kamishima because it'd be a whole other thing if people found out about you two, but people will eventually start getting suspicious even if you try to lead normal lives. What are you going to do then?
Well, we kind of assumed it would all work out somehow.
It's true. We haven't really thought about it at all. We figured as much. That's why we're going to protect the two of you.
Huh? We'll make some rules on the island so no one will get suspicious of you no matter how long you choose to live.
I mean, it's gonna take some time to put our plan into action, but I'm sure we'll be calling the shots around here by the time people start thinking there's something fishy going on with you guys. I was thinking we could build a shrine for you two and to live it up in the mountains. Oh, a shrine?
Oh, I didn't get what she said. What did she say?
That sounds incredible. We can say gods are enshrined there, so people shouldn't go near it without permission.
Then I'll make sure the descendants of the Kumoi family are protectors of that shrine, all the way down the family line, so they'll always protect you. The Somikawa family managed to pass down their legend for 400 years, so I bet my family could handle a shrine for 800 years or so. That's so thoughtful, but I kind of feel bad for making you guys worry so much, not to mention several generations of your family. It's totally fine, don't mention it. Nothing makes me happier than seeing you and Sato together like this. I know you went through a whole lot to get to this point, Yuza. I'm really happy for you. Azumi. I'm seriously so happy for you, like, seriously overjoyed.
You heard the man. That's why we won't let anyone get in the way of all this happiness.
Azumi, Tsukasa, thank you both so much.
Oh, Tsukasa, the fact that you'd think all of these plans just for us means the whole world to me.
Well, there was one other reason. Yuza's never been the type to look before he leaps, so we have to be around to make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble.
Ah, good point.
Hey, that's not true. You're the one who's always got me into messes, Azumi.
Nope, you're both wrong. You have any idea how much apologizing I had to do for both you guys over the years? Oh, but you're gonna make it up to me now. I'll work you both to the bone. You too, Sato. You're gonna put Kamishima on the map. You got it. Just tell me what to do. Let's all keep getting each other in and out of trouble from here on out.
How nice.
There is a legend in Kamishima. It is a story passed down through the generations about two gods in the guise of a young man and a young woman. They would often leave their shrine disguised as ordinary humans and happily stroll through the town. On occasion, they would sneak off the island and travel around the country before returning home. The people of the island would stop and give a small bow whenever they came across the couple, and silently watch as they went on their way. No one knew from whence the pair had come. Their history was shrouded in mystery. But it is said that this mischievously playful and intimately harmonious couple would always look upon one another with pure joy. There was apparently only one inviolable rule is what it says. There's only one inviolable rule concerning the pair. One must never sneak up and startle them from behind. That's funny. That's how the relationship started. Several decades after those events. The country has seen 2 new emperors reign, and people with any detailed knowledge of the fateful days have grown few and far between. Now, the Kantekisho ruins of Kamishima have become a sacred place for lovers, with couples flocking to it to strengthen their bonds. On this day, the young visitors who happened to come see the sights spotted a young man and young woman together on the roof of the Kantekisho ruins, gazing happily out to sea. Oh, there we go. Nice. The best ending right there. Hell yeah, we did it! What a lovely story. We do need to go back and see Avi become immortal and see what happens with him, though. But I'm glad that we got to see this ending. This is the canon ending. I think it's cool how they ended up just making a god legend around him. Seems like a pretty good way of doing it. I mean, living on an island probably helps a lot, because if they were from a major city in Japan, that would be way harder, I think, to get something like that to happen. But being on a small island that's kind of just ran by tourism and stuff, I can see that being pretty good, you know? It's pretty cool that Azumi was going to dedicate his family to protecting them. Although that kind of sucks for his children, right? Because he's kind of predetermining their life. You got to stay on the island because you got to protect the shrine because my friend is an immortal. It's damn, Grandpa. Yes, maybe not all of his descendants would have to do that. I mean, this must be years later. So it looks like the island has prospered a bit. I guess we're still looking at the island. I guess we've never really seen the whole island. And it's pretty big, I guess. They always made it seem very small. Or maybe this isn't the island. Maybe this is the mainland. And maybe that's the island over there. I don't know. Either way, it's a pretty picture. I like how they animated the light flickering on the ocean. It's nice. I think this is not the first time you've seen the credits, but it's the good ending, so let's go ahead and let them go through. Bravo to all of you. Great game. I can't wait for the next one. Honestly, I remember when the first one came out, hearing about how they wanted to make I thought I heard that they wanted to make a sequel to Paranormasight, The 7 Mysteries of Hanjo, but they weren't allowed to, so they ended up making a comic, a manga. But I think that might be directly tied to The 7 Mysteries of Hanjo, because that's why I was surprised when this one came out. I was like, what? They did make another Paranormasight? Sweet.
But yeah, it's a completely different story. I mean, I say completely different, but it is connected because they do mention how, like, oh, you know, several years ago there was that thing that happened in Hanjo or whatever. So it is like a sequel of sorts. But I don't think they ever directly mention anybody from the first Paranormasight. It would be kind of interesting if, like, the detective showed up or something. I don't remember his name. I assume getting the Avi Immortal ending is going to be pretty easy, because I think we'll just, like, go back and make it so Sato doesn't get the flesh. But we've already triggered it so that the flesh will appear in the box on August 7th. So I assume that'll give us a new chapter for Arnov, where he must find it in the box. Maybe he opens it and he's like, whoa, there's flesh in here. Gobble, gobble. I'm immortal. And then maybe he goes around writing stories for the rest of his life. I don't know. I don't know what he'll do. He's a goofy dude. How precious is that? It's funny because I think we got to see that ending at the beginning of the game. But then we had to, like, figure out how to get to it. Complete all files. Nice. So that means that that mysterious one is now file 38. Yeah, there it is. Thank you for playing our game until the very end. As a token of our appreciation, we have some special information to share with you about Sorcerer Suigen Gaimyodo. According to the results of our investigation conducted by the Paranormal Affairs Bureau, the original Suigen Gaimyodo retired following last year's incident involving the 7 mysteries of Hanjo, and a young man with exceptionally potent spirit sense has since taken her place. Although this second Suigen Gaimyodo has thus far focused on using his powerful abilities to solidify his social standing, his true purpose seems to be searching for a diviner by the name of Iyo Tokuro, who is said to be responsible for teaching the art of curses and other supernatural techniques to a certain ordinary woman. We look forward to the day we can meet again in another Paranormasight. Sincerely yours, Nakagoshi. So is that hinting at the next game? Is gonna, like, involve this Suigen Gaimyodo person and Iyo Tokoro? Oh, second change. So his true purpose seems to be searching for a diviner by the name of Iyo Tokoro, who is said to be responsible for teaching the art of curses and other supernatural techniques to a certain ordinary woman. So I guess this ordinary woman and the curses that she's learning is maybe going to be like the bad guy in the next one or something. I don't know. Interesting. File 38. Huh. Cool. All right. Oh, we can't even go back to the story chart? So did I screw up my chance to... I guess I can go back to, like, a different save slot. So let's do a save slot here. Or maybe I'm at the story chart. That's why I can't click it. Oh, I am. Okay, cool. We're good. No big deal. So I can still do it. So we got that all grayed out. So now I need to go back into claim. Start from the lighthouse. Make sure that Sato doesn't get the box. Which we've already done, so I'll probably just click through it really quick just to get to set up that. Just take some time. There they are. Think for a second, special box. Yeah, I gotta get it no matter what. But we're not gonna get it. Sorry, Sato. We already got to see you live with Yuza for 800 years. Okay, you agreed to talk to Sato. Just kind of introducing each other or themselves. Okay, then we'll talk to Arnov. The
like, you must tell me if you know anything about mermaids. She's like, oh, sorry, I don't know anything about mermaids, but I'm interested in mermaids. I thought you could tell me. And she's like, oh, crap, you look mad now. And he's like, oh, everybody just wants to use me on this island. You guys suck. Deny. I want to meet one. Chasing a legend, are we? He's telling about how he learned about the original mermaids. They're heading home. Search anew. Okay, sounds good, man. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Just trying to wrap it up by getting this last ending. And like, I might check to make sure I got them all, but I'm pretty sure that should be all of them. Yeah, enjoy whatever you get for food. Getting pretty hungry myself, so I'm definitely gonna get something to eat after the stream. Alright, then the left. No Tame Tobacco for Sato. There we go. Oh, and there we go. Okay, so yeah, I made a new one automatically. An exciting Issei Shima adventure. Avi and Cersei managed to keep the Tame Tobacco safely in their possession and leave Kamishima for search for Kipe Ikoma. Alright, here we go. Something new. And so, Cersei and Avi made their way back to Toba in search of Kipe Ikoma.
Who are you talking to?
Feels more exciting this way, doesn't it?
Huh, you might be right. But it seems like we've just missed him.
Even though he claimed he's afraid of the ocean. The people at the port said he left for Kamishima on a chartered boat.
There are no more ferries today, so we have no way of getting back to the island.
Afraid there's not much else we can do. Well, as long as we've got the Tame Tobacco, there might be another chance someday. Huh? Cersei, what's wrong?
I don't know, but the Tame Tobacco is giving off a strange spiritual energy.
No, I did notice it felt a bit heavier than before. Let's take a look. Huh? There's something inside!
Huh? Something just appeared inside?
What, this? A chunk of flesh? My goodness! Could this belong to a mermaid?
Wait, what? Is it real? It exudes an incredible spirit energy. Whatever it is, it's extraordinary. Doesn't this feel too good to be true, though? Could be a trap. Or a curse.
It's definitely a curse. I actually found it! The gods haven't forsaken me after all. Thank you, world! I accept your gracious offering.
Yeah, are you seriously going to eat a chunk of mystery meat just like that? What's wrong with you? Well?
Not particularly good. Very watery, not much fat, and no real texture. But it's not too fishy, so fried... Oh, I don't even know what that says. Minure style, it might not be half bad.
That's all well and good, but I wasn't talking about the taste. I'm not planning on trying any. How do you feel? Is immortality setting in?
I don't feel any different.
Want me to stab you or something?
Whoa, slow down! What if it didn't work? I'd just suffer a painful skewering for nothing.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure painful things will still hurt you even if you're immortal.
Which is, I'm pretty sure that's true.
And as far as I understand, an immortal body doesn't regenerate unless you're fatally wounded.
In that case, I must politely decline. I'm not the biggest fan of pain, you see. Anyway, I'm sure I'll find out if it worked one day. The fact that we got a hold of the Tame Tobacco was already worth the trip.
Well, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
And that concludes Avi and Cersei's exciting Issei Shima adventure. Thanks for reading, everyone.
Ah, he's narrating again.
Well, now I suppose I'll be going back to the US. What about you, Cersei?
I think I'll keep exploring the Key region for a little while longer. was thinking of paying a visit to Kumano Gogen.
That was a deity of the Kumano region, right?
That's the one. Actually, it's a collective term for the deities enshrined in the 3 grand shrines known as the Kumano Sanzan. Alright, that's all there is to that one. I guess I don't want to skip it. Because what if there's something at the end, I guess? Who knows?
Now it's simple. And then Avi gets his flesh. Cool. I assume they'll say, like, whatever ending earned or whatever. I'll get an achievement or some shit. Cool, 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 cool. Oh, cool. I guess it was an abbreviated version of the credits, because that's way shorter than the other one. And thus, after obtaining the flesh of a mermaid, Avi's wish came true, and he was granted an 800-year lifespan. A man like him, who constantly seeks out new adventure, would most assuredly never encounter a dull day in those 800 years. Living his life to the fullest, he traveled the world in an everlasting search for thrilling mysteries and marvels. In the mid-21st century, his novel, The Tale of the Never-Ending Youth, which was inspired by his own experiences, became a surprise worldwide hit. The live-action adaptation of a major U.S. studio proved a major success, spawning merchandise and a theme park that made him a wealthy man. And always smiling until his final days, he proudly proved that even after 800 years, not all glory is doomed to fade. In the 27th century, he wrote the following words in his journal. "The world keeps on turning. Compared to its birth and the richness of its history, 800 years is far too short." Ending number 2, The Glory of Arnav Barnum. What's weird is that the Paranormal Investigations Bureau never took him in, because I'm sure they would figure out that he's an immortal at some point. Now what, there's another option here? What? Okay, so can I go back and make... Well, I guess it has to do with possession somehow. So if they kill Kikuko, does something different happen here? Or can Kikuko somehow get the Atomic Tobacco? Because there's still an ending here somehow. I wonder if it's something to do with Kikuko. Let me see. For the sake of saving some time, I think I'll look it up to see what ending I'm missing. Let me just see if I can look up a list of the endings, just to give me like a little bit of a context here. All endings guide. Okay. Tragic Kamishima, The Glory of Arnav Barnum. The Fall of Arnav Barnum. Oh, okay. So he can die? Okay, so yeah, I was right. We have to kill Kikuko, and then there's kind of like a bad ending for Arnav. Okay, so let's do that. Stand off with the mirror. God, she looks so evil with her eyes like that, dude. We'll just talk to her. Kikuko, why the interest in the Atomic Tobacco?
It's some kind of ancient mermaid treasure, right?
My, you're well informed.
Would you be willing to hand it over to me? I'll make sure it's worth your while.
Huh?
You see, I know someone who's ridiculously rich and in search of eternal life. They'd be willing to pay a small fortune for that thing. They'll offer the kind of money you probably only get to see once in a lifetime. So, what do you say?
Whoa, slow down.
Avi? Much more than some third-rate writer like yourself could earn in a lifetime. I don't know what you could possibly need with a Tame Tobacco for anyway, but wouldn't you like to move up in the world?
I believe I understand your offer, Kikuko. My answer is no, not a chance, no way, no how. It's never been about money. It's about the thrill, the adventure.
Adventure?
Exactly. Embarking on a journey to unravel the secret of the mermaid's immortality. What better adventure could a man ask for? You may call me a romantic, but that's what I am, an adventurer at heart.
You've totally lost me. You're throwing this chance away for some childish adventure?
You wouldn't understand. I'd put my life on the line to find a mermaid. I'm not handing the box over.
I see. Seems like there's no reasoning with you. All right then, this conversation is over. It's a shame, but I gave you a chance.
Huh? Oh, don't get me wrong. I'd still love to ask you some more things. Egad!
A curse echo. No!
Damn it! It hurts so much for talking. So there was a way to die as Avi here. Okay, so that wasn't even what I was trying to do there. I guess I needed to do something. Arnab Barnum is dead. Okay, so I never got that ending either. Alright, let's see what the storyteller says here. Oh my, it seems you've met with a rather unpleasant fate. This is merely conjecture on my part, but things seem to be going quite smoothly right up until Kikuko's true nature was exposed. The only one who can stop Kikuko from committing those murders is Mr. Barnum, after all. However, it appears you were holding on to something that gave her the upper hand. I would recommend you dispose of that item before incurring her wrath. Do not fret. You may start anew from the moment the standoff began. Yeah, I guess I have to, like, talk to Cersei to trigger the Cersei... Because Cersei's supposed to, like, block her, and that's how we killed Kikuko. That's how I did it the first time. But then I wanted to keep her alive, so I just got rid of the card so she couldn't attack me. So I think at this point I need to talk to Cersei.
Be careful.
Of course. I think... Her whole demeanor shifted the instant she realized I had the Tame Tobacco. Dang it, could she be after it too? Oh, I have the hand mirror. When did I accept that? Cersei, pass me the hand mirror received earlier.
Huh? Oh, sure.
Take that, and some of this!
Ah.
So it's weird, because I never accepted the hand mirror. But I guess when I just go back to continue from here, it acts like I did. That's weird.
And Kikuko's like, what the hell? That hand mirror from before. Could it be dangerous?
What? No way. Unless...
Huh?
Okay, anything else I got? I do have the card, but I need to keep the business card. But I need to get Cersei to protect me. So maybe now I'm in the position where Cersei will be able to protect me? Man, it's crazy. I did this exactly right the first time. But now I can't remember. I need to, like, examine her. I have a bad feeling about the way she's looking at us now. Okay, I'll talk to her. Yeah, I think it's this, because she said that.
It'd be so much easier if you had it.
Because she, like, we get to know that she has a curse stone. That's why. And then Cersei will be prepared, right? That's probably what it is.
Huh? Why'd you suddenly throw away that mirror? This would have been so much easier.
Huh? Oh, the mirror? I don't know. It just felt like the right thing to do. Why do you ask?
Everything's not going as planned.
Ah. I'm not sure what's going on, but I feel like we might have just narrowly escaped danger. Sounds like if we had the mirror on us, she would have been able to steal the Tame Tobacco. I'd like to get more information out of her, but it seems as though she's plotting something. Okay, now talk to Cersei.
Avi, focus. I need you to listen to me, but without taking your eyes off Kikuko.
Huh? Oh, got it.
I'm pretty sure she has a curse stone.
What?
What's all this about? I couldn't tell right away, but because of the mask of the heavy veil of the cursed energy that's all over the island, but on closer inspection, the cursed stone's aura is impossible to conceal. Huh? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Whoa, puppy. You startled yourself, buddy. You gotta watch out.
Hold on, buddy. Gotta get that last ending.
What if the condition to activate her curse was holding on to those mirrors? Then we can relax, right? The condition isn't met.
Well, only if the mirror was all there is to it. As long as we don't know for sure what the condition is, we need to stay on high alert.
Mystery Coma's business card. I figured it might be able to use it later, so I held on to it. Keep it. Talk about Kristen. Hey, Kikuko, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Yeah?
Ta-da! What are the odds? Turns out we both have got curse stones. This one's called the Curse of the Forsaken Fish. When its conditions are met, it transforms you into a fish and kills you. Pretty messed up, huh?
What? Avi, are you sure?
You were planning to use your curse stone on us to steal the Tama Tobacco, weren't you? But your curse stone requires us to have one of those hand mirrors, am I right? On the other hand, I can use my curse on you whenever I so please.
You're bluffing. Your curse stone must have a condition too.
Yeah? Who's to say it hasn't already been met? Now, cease your scheming and tell us what you know. Let's keep talking about curse stone.
Do you really have the resolve to kill someone with a curse?
Well, I'm not exactly keen on it, but I am prepared to defend my life if necessary.
Really? I wasn't expecting that from such a kind gentleman. You look like you wouldn't hurt a fly.
Indeed, my heart is pure, and trust me, I'm quite capable. Experience has hardened my resolve.
Eh? You're saying you actually used it before?
At this point, what difference does one more death on the tally make? My hands are already stained.
Damn, so you're a proper criminal. Maybe I should report you to the cops.
Be my guest. I wonder which is faster, my curse or your phone call.
What about your lady friend? Well, are you okay with this? I'm afraid there's no restraining Avi. I'm pretty much giving up on him at this point. So it would be great if you would just give up and hand over the curse stone. What the fuck is this? You guys are absolutely insane.
Aw, come on now. I think we can agree that we both have our issues. Good, we're at a stalemate. Now I can try to extract some more information out of her. Good job, Cersei. Make her believe I've lost it. Very convincing. Actually, maybe a little too convincing? Does she really think I'm that crazy? Whatever. I've got more important things to focus on now. So what kind of curse do you possess?
Dunno. Don't care.
Nah, come on. Not even a hint.
We, on the other hand, have laid pretty much all of our cards on the table already.
Huh? What are you talking about? Who would do such a reckless thing? Alright, now Tama Tobacco. So, why don't you enlighten us? Who told you about the Tama Tobacco?
Who knows? Think you'll get it out of me with that attitude?
She still hasn't given up on the Tama Tobacco. Alright, look. Seems like you're just as dead set on the Tama Tobacco as I am. This standoff won't get us anywhere. Why don't you tell us your motivation? Maybe we'll be able to find a compromise.
Compromise?
Say, for example, if granting your wish were to stir the spirit of adventure within me. I cannot hand over the Tama Tobacco, but perhaps I'd be willing to let you borrow its power of immortality.
I've got no romantic tale for you. I told you, I just want to get that rich person what he's looking for so he can see how important I am to him. That's all there is to it.
No, important you say. How is that?
Because I'm his illegitimate child.
Oof.
But he simply refuses to admit it. Whatever I do, he won't even acknowledge my existence. I mean, just look at me. It must be a disgrace in his eyes. But a woman like me shouldn't be wasting her life away on some backwater island. I was born of noble blood. I wasn't meant to rot in this miserable place. Yet he casts me aside and refuses to even acknowledge my existence. It's humiliating.
So your father's some rich man?
Yeah. There's hardly anyone in Ise-shima who doesn't know the name Yoshiatsu Yamashina. It's a noble bloodline stretching back centuries, and here I am stuck on this wretched life.
Yamashina, eh?
I've done everything in my power to earn his recognition. I gave him my all to make it to the big city, and for what? Nothing I tried worked. In the end, I had to come crawling back to this island trying to make ends meet as an ama diver. But I still kept telling myself that someday, somehow...
I see. So you figured that since Yamashina is seeking mortality, you could leverage the box to get what you want at the same time.
Yeah. I used to work at this small company. The young CEO of the place is basically Yamashina's protege. I guess he felt sorry for me, so he let it slip that Yamashina was after immortality.
Interesting. And was he the one who told you about the cursed stone and the Tamatabako as well?
Yeah. Since even Yamashina doesn't know about this, he suggested I use it as to my advantage and take the credit. He gave me the cursed stone and told me to use it wisely. Originally, I had planned on offering something different to Yamashina, but now that I've got a chance for the Tamatabako, that's my best option.
Oh, how intriguing. So you wanted to trade the Tamatabako for Yamashina's recognition?
That's right. See? I knew you were never going to find a compromise.
True, it's a compelling story, but it's missing a certain adventurous allure.
The company president you mentioned, how come he knew about the Tamatabako and the Cursed Stone? Just who exactly is he? I was wondering
the same thing.
Of course you were. He's an incredible person after all. Mr. Kipe Ikoma is an amazing man. It's thanks to him I got a chance to make my dream come true. Oh.
Did you say Ikoma?
Do I need to pull the card out and look at it so she knows that I have it? Just need to talk about Ikoma now.
Kipe Ikoma, you say? From Sala Planning.
Huh? You know Mr. Ikoma?
Indeed. Just met him the other day, in fact. I even got his business card.
Huh? You have Mr. Ikoma's business card? Wait. Then that business card you took out earlier was his?
That's right. Want to see it?
No, it's fine. You hold on to that.
If you say so. Huh?
What? A curse echo!
Yikes, did we mess up?
Here we go. She blocks it.
Plakas Astari, guide his path, and with thy merciful hand protect him. Why? You have Mr. Ikoma's business card. The condition should have been met, so why?
Yikes, I thought I was done for.
You were. I'm sorry, all I can do is delay the curse. I can't dispel it. It's going to take an effect in about 1 minute. You need to do something before then.
Huh? Like what?
A curse is dispelled by eliminating its caster. What comes up next is up to you.
What? Eliminate? Why do I have to keep doing this?
I'll show Kikiko in the ocean.
Ah, damn it, I refuse to die here.
Hark. Yeah, what's with you?
She fell into the water. It's now or never.
Nah!
You know, Avi screams when he uses it.
I retrieved the curse stone from the ocean. Are you alright, Avi?
Well, I barely made it out alive, but I can't say I feel particularly good about it. So I had to come to this. No turning back now, it seems.
This is what happens when you deal with curses. They might turn back on you at any moment. You should be prepared for that.
Understood. So what about the curse stone? What's it like?
Yeah, about that.
Huh? A bronze mirror?
That's right. A palm-sized bronze hand mirror.
Wait. Don't tell me the still-tied mirror was actually a curse stone all along.
The curse stone's resentful memory doesn't seem to indicate anything like that.
So this curse stone had a resentful memory too, eh? What did you learn?
There's so much information, it's hard to make sense of it. Here, take a look for yourself.
Don't just toss it like that. It's a curse stone, not a baseball.
So you're not gonna look?
No, of course I am. Let's see. Whoa. So this is the real deal. Oh, a mermaid. There's a mermaid on it. So this is the curse of the Tira no Tomoshige that grew over 800 long years.
Tira no Tomoshige? Never heard of him.
He wasn't exactly what you'd call a historically important figure, even with the Heike. Seems that he sought out the mermaid's power of immortality to restore the Heike, but his pursuit ended in failure. That resentment, it must have dwelled within Tomoshige's bronze mirror, eventually turning into a curse stone.
Most likely.
And the symbol on the hand mirror and the business card were the true curse target.
So that's what it was. If only we'd realized it sooner.
Well, what's done is done. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Kikuko mentioned she got her curse stone from Ikoma, right?
Exactly. To think that slippery snake was sneaky enough to put his curse markers on his own business cards. That Ikoma guy is seriously dangerous. That was way too close.
Good thing we were cautious, especially since it seems he's after the Tamatobako too.
Yeah, seems like working without him turned out to be the right call.
Although he may grow suspicious if he can't contact Kikuko anymore. Considering he's after the Tamatobako, there's a chance he might still chase after us.
We need to keep our guard up. I think it's safe to assume he already knows about Miss Somekawa and the Tamatobako.
I do wonder why he told us to go look for the still-tied mirror too.
Well, it's not this mirror, and we've got no reason to follow his orders anyway. I'd rather try to find out more about the mermaid as soon as possible.
You're right. We didn't learn anything from Kikuko.
Looks like we've got no choice but to continue our investigation on the island, shall we? All right.
Could you hold on for a moment?
Huh? Someone's there. Ah!
Ah.
You! Cool. Bing, bing, boom. So now when we do this, something different's going to happen because Kikuko is dead. Start after ending. And thus, after obtaining the flesh of a mermaid, Avi's wish came true, and he was granted an 800-year lifespan. However, soon after, Avi was detained at the airport by the Paranormal Affairs Bureau under suspicion of murdering Kikuko Tsusui with a curse. It was the mangled half-fish remains of Kikuko Tsusui washed ashore on the coast of Toba that brought the crime to light. Avi fought back furiously, yelling and demanding he get a lawyer and saying he refused to talk. He did everything he could to avoid conviction. In the end, the case never went to court. However, citing the rule that 800-year immortals must be sealed away, a decision was made. From that day on, Arnov Barnum, the cheerful fantasy novelist, was never seen in public again. The fall of Arnov Barnum. There we go. Whereabouts of the missing author. Bam, bam. And now everything's grayed out. We have completed the game. Complete the story. The Tale of Issei Mermaids. Yes, we 100%ed it. Except we didn't get all the Mockingbirds, I will admit. There was 4 Mockingbird stickers that were missing. I might do that on my own time just to get all the achievements, but I don't think that's stream worthy if I'm honest. I need to go get some lunch anyway, so it's time for me to sign off. So there we go. there we have it. That was Paranormasight, the Mermaid's Curse. Thanks everybody for joining in, and those of you who are watching on YouTube, I appreciate you guys checking it out. I'll be looking for another game to start up. Might be another visual novelty series, or maybe we'll do something else for a little while. We'll see. I'll be on the lookout for some stuff, so hopefully by next Sunday I'll have made some decision. Or maybe I'll just have some other game in the meantime. We'll see. But yeah, so come by next Sunday if you want to come check out the stream, or just look for another episode of whatever I decide to do on YouTube if you're following along there. But thanks to everybody for hanging out with me. I'm going to go get some lunch and probably mull over the story in my brain for a little bit longer. All right. You guys have a good one. Thanks again for joining me. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. See you in 800 years.